Let's talk about the good and bad of living in Alpharetta. You're either thinking about Alpharetta specifically, or you're doing a lot of research and wondering if this might be the best option for you. I'll tell you all the reasons I love Alpharetta, and perhaps even more important, the cons of living here, which might be deal breakers for you. So stick around to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting into. Let's get into it. If you're new here, here's the Cliff Notes. Alpharetta is going to be a 40-minute drive north of Atlanta in Fulton County. You're gonna head up Georgia 400 and it's going to be exits 7 through 11. Alpharetta is kind of the golden child of Metro Atlanta. Everything that is cool, especially on the east side, is in Alpharetta. Whole suburbs exist because they were trying to be close to Alpharetta. There are a lot of good reasons to love it and some downsides. Speaking of which, Avalon is hands down one of the best spots in Alpharetta and really in the entire Metro Atlanta area. If you were going to label it as anything, you would probably call it a shopping center, but it's really kind of a whole thing. Yes, there's tons of shopping. My oldest is now 10 and she's discovered shopping, and this is her new favorite spot to go with mom. You got places like Lululemon, Apple, Anthropologie, Sephora, Williams-Sonoma, Nike, Crate and Barrel, just tons and tons of options, whether you're looking for apparel, home goods, tech, whatever you need. And when you get hungry, there are some really good restaurants here. Rumi's Kitchen, I hear about it all the time. This is actually a Persian place. I haven't been there yet, but it's on the list. I just need to get my less adventurous eating wife there somehow. South City Kitchen, this is upscale Southern food. They have a couple of locations around the city. It's fantastic. Cafe Intermezzo, this place is cozy. It feels like they can only sit like 25 people at a time, but it's a very cool vibe. Usually this is a great spot for just drinks or dessert or both, but they do have some light entrees if you want to do a full meal. Antico Pizza, for my pizza snob people, these guys will not disappoint. No, that's not all. There are a bunch of other options as well. You need to try them all. One of the coolest things about Avalon is how it feels like its own little city. The entire space is designed for a live, work, play lifestyle. There's luxury apartments, office spaces, a movie theater, and even a hotel if you're looking to stay a while. There's a green space in the middle where people hang out, kids play, and events take place year-round, like live music, yoga, and during winter they even turn this into an ice skating rink. Out with friends, date night, day shopping, coffee get together, this is the place to be. So Alpharetta has a great downtown. I think if you were to ask what the city center is, some would say the aforementioned Avalon probably works better in that regard, but this is the OG. What used to be a quiet, small town center is now a real bustling area filled with trendy restaurants, boutique shops, year-round events. The city has done a really good job in preserving that historic charm, but adding the modern touches. It's a really nice blend between that historic and modern feel. One of the best things about downtown Alpharetta is how walkable it is. You can park your car and you can stroll from place to place, whether you're grabbing coffee, shopping at some of the boutiques, getting some food, or all of the above. There's also a great mix of outdoor seating, patios, rooftop bars that make it a really fun spot to hang out either, during a really nice day or at night. There's a green space right in front of City Hall, and it's a great gathering space where they have live music, food festivals, and farmers markets. Throughout the year are larger events like Alpharetta Art in the Park, Taste of Alpharetta, and some holiday celebrations. If you're in town, make sure you stop by. If you need help dialing in the best area for you, go ahead and reach out to me. My name's Joel. I'm a local realtor here in the Metro Atlanta area. My information is below in the description. You also see it right here at the bottom of the screen. I help clients relocate here all the time. Call, text, or email. I'll be able to help you figure out which area is going to work best for you. Always happy to answer questions or just have a conversation. Obligatory disclaimer that my code of ethics impedes me from speaking about safety as my own opinion. There's a long history of realtors steering folks away from certain towns under the guise of safety. What I will do is cite data from third-party sources, so if something does happen, please Don't sue me. With that in mind, let's see what neighborhoodscout.com has to say. The crime rate in Alpharetta is considerably higher than the national average across all communities in America, from the largest to the smallest. Although at 17 crimes per 1,000 residents, it is not among the communities with the very highest crime rate. The chance of becoming a victim of either violent or property crime in Alpharetta is 1 in 60. Based on FBI crime data, Alpharetta is not one of the safest communities in America. Relative to Georgia, Alpharetta has a crime rate that is higher than 64% of the state's cities and towns of all sizes. However, compared to other communities of similar population size, Alpharetta has a crime rate that is noticeably lower than the average. This means that for comparably sized cities all across America, Alpharetta is actually safer than most, according to Neighborhood Scout's exclusive analysis of FBI crime data. Solid endorsement here, not going to be at the top of any 10 safest cities, but certainly will be above average. Alpharetta has a pretty robust job market with a workforce that is actually higher than its residential population. About 68,000 people live in Alpharetta, but over 85,000 professionals commute here daily for work. More than 2/3 of these workers are going to hold bachelor's degrees, mostly in fields like telecommunication, finance, technology, software development, and network solutions. Alpharetta, Georgia is known as the technology capital of the South. The city's transformation from a small farming community in the 1980s into a huge tech hub tells you about the strategic infrastructure investments and business-friendly environment they've created over the years. Today, Alpharetta is home to over 900 technology companies, including some major ones like Microsoft, Verizon, IBM, ADP, Fiserv, and Equifax. These companies benefit from the city's extensive fiber optic network and reliable power infrastructure, which was established decades ago in order to attract tech enterprises. If you're an entrepreneur, a seasoned professional, or just someone looking for career opportunities, Alpharetta has become the Atlanta suburb that everyone commutes to. If you can live here, you'll have a commute to work that everyone else only dreams about. Alpharetta is more central, giving you easier access not only to Atlanta, but to the rest of the metro Atlanta suburbs. In fact, Alpharetta's infrastructure is a lot of the reason some of these other suburbs exist in the first place. Residents wanted to be close by, but Alpharetta was all full, so they created their own community, like Johns Creek, for example. Roswell is to the southeast, the Chattahoochee River is not too far away, and Milton is over to the northwest. It sits about 25 miles north of downtown Atlanta, making it one of the few suburbs of Atlanta where you might actually commute into the big city for work. Plus, with Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport less than an hour away, it makes travel pretty convenient. It's got top-rated schools, luxury housing, plenty of green space, popular spots like Avalon, downtown Alpharetta. They've got tons of shopping, dining, entertainment. If you love the outdoors, there's places like Lake Lanier, Chattahoochee River, and the North Georgia Mountains, which are just a short drive away. Alpharetta really sits at the center of a main gravitational pull all across North Atlanta. Reach out to me if you're trying to figure out which area, city, or cities would be best for you. I live here in Metro Atlanta and I hang out in all of these different locations, so give me like 3 or 4 things that are really important to you and I'll be able to place you in the spots that will work best for you. Information is here. Call, text, or email anytime. Happy to have a conversation. Schools in Georgia are divided by the county lines, which means schools in Alpharetta will be part of the Fulton County school system, which will get an A on niche.com and number 12 for school systems around Atlanta. Fulton County also has a suspiciously odd shape that stretches all the way south of the city. If you just took what you would expect Fulton County to be, all of those high schools are getting A's and A+, so I would think it would be like top 3, top 2, maybe even top 1. Another disclaimer that I'm going to talk about schools from the perspective of some third-party sites. We're going to look at the letter grade from niche.com and the rating out of 10 from greatschools.org. Alpharetta High is centrally located. It gets an A+ on niche.com, ranks number 8 in the state, and an 8 out of 10 on greatschools.org. Chattahoochee High is on the south side. It gets an A+ on niche.com, ranked number 7 in the state, and a 9 out of 10 on greatschools.org. Finally, there's Cambridge High on the north side. Gets an A+ on niche.com, ranked number 18 in the state, and a 9 out of 10 on greatschools.org. I mean, doesn't get much better than that as far as school options are concerned. In Alpharetta, there are currently 331 homes available for sale. 185 of them are going to be detached and 145 are going to be attached, something like a townhome or a condo. As far as the range, it's going to be anywhere from $220,000 condo up to a $10 million plus equestrian estate. And I'll tell you right now, almost everything under the 400 mark is going to be attached housing. I just checked and there is only one detached home under 400,000. If you're looking for something detached, you're going to have to clear that $400,000 mark. Of the 327 homes available, 278 of them are going to be above 500,000. That's 84%. 196 are above the $750,000 mark, that's 60%, and 136 are above the 1 million mark, that's 41%. Almost half. And you'll also find that property taxes are higher here than in many other areas. Alpharetta is part of Fulton County, which has some of the highest property taxes in the state. Where some other counties like Forsyth, Cobb, and Cherokee have a senior tax exemption where residents over the age of 62 don't have to pay school taxes, Fulton County does not have a senior exemption. Or they technically do, but it's very small. So for example, if your home is worth $1 million, your property taxes might be somewhere near $10,000 a year. If you were gonna put that same home in Cherokee County and you were over 62, it would be much closer to $2,500 a year, which is a huge difference. There's certainly a downside to Alpharetta being so popular. So many people have moved here over the years and they kept building and building to accommodate. If you are the type of person that needs space, this isn't for you. If you want larger lots but are not willing to spend more than $1 million on a home, then this isn't for you. Some residents also feel that Alpharetta is losing a bit of its small town charm as it continues to develop with new businesses, high-rise apartments, and shopping centers. Some long-time locals miss the quieter, more suburban feel it once had, which was a while ago. Overall, while Alpharetta is an amazing place to live and work, the fast growth and dense population do come with challenges. The good news is that the city is constantly working on infrastructure improvements to help manage the growth and keep Alpharetta a really great place to live. Alpharetta and really most of Metro Atlanta can be a real headache, especially during peak hours. With the city's rapid growth over the years and increasing number of businesses, major roads like Georgia 400, Windward Parkway, Old Milton Parkway, Haynesbridge Road often are gonna get backed up. Morning and evening commutes can be pretty slow and pretty long waits at any of the traffic lights. One of the biggest frustrations is that Alpharetta wasn't originally designed to handle this much traffic. As more people moved in and more companies set up here with their headquarters, the roadways have struggled to keep up. Georgia 400 is the main artery in and out of the city, and while they've expanded it over the years, it still gets clogged with commuters heading to and from Atlanta. Public transportation options are pretty limited, and by limited, I mean there are none. If you're looking for public transportation, you're gonna need to be inside the 285 perimeter. And this is really true for all of North Georgia. We are very car dependent. While there are some bus routes through MARTA, there's no direct rail connection to Alpharetta. The city is working on improvements like winding roads, adjusting traffic light timing, which will help in the long term, but in the short term, a lot of the construction just makes it a little bit worse. Now, if you're thinking, yes, this sounds like exactly what I've been looking for, reach out and we can get that relocation process started. If you're thinking maybe this isn't for me, then check out this playlist right over here. I've got vlogs, map tours, and guides so you can learn more about all the different suburbs. Or even better, give me a call and we can chat about it directly. I'll see you in the next one.